We now move on to Thursday Night Football, where the New England Patriots won for the fifth straight game as they beat the Atlanta Falcons 25-0 last night. The Falcons, meanwhile, fall to 4-6. They've now, after being 4-4 and a surprising 4-4, they're now 4-6. They've been outscored 68-3 the last 2 weeks. For the Patriots, Mac Jones, 22 out of 26, 207 yards, a touchdown, interception. Good night to run the football for Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. A receiving touchdown for Nelson Aguilar. Defense had a really big night, as evidenced by the Falcons scoring nothing. Kyle Van Noy, 2 sacks and an interception return for a touchdown. You also had interceptions from J.C. Jackson, Devin McCourty, and Adrian Phillips. Matt Ryan did not throw all of those interceptions. He was removed from the game in the second half. He ends up 19-28, 153 yards and 2 picks. And Russell Gage, his top target on the night, 5 catches, 49 yards. Drink. What do you make of this Thursday Night Football result from either side?
Well, from the result, I think the results match what we thought we was gonna get. Maybe not a goose egg by the Falcons, but listen, they only scored 3 points last week, so we didn't see them coming out here with the whopping 35 either, right? But for New England, I think so. I really like what New England did. You got to think this team played on Sunday. They dropped 45. They beat, just beat the logo off Cleveland on Sunday. They dropped 45. I think they beat them like 45-3 or 45-10 or something like that, right? Then they turn around on the short week and they play on Thursday. The most dreadful thing that NFL teams do is play on Sunday, then turn around and play on Thursday, right? And I really like what the Patriots did. Like, I felt like when I was watching them, I felt what Bill was doing. Like, his thing was, listen, we just played on Thursday. We shown that we're capable of putting up some points. We're playing an inferior team, even though Bill won't say that. But they was playing a clearly inferior team than they just played on Sunday. And I think, honestly, he didn't press the gas. I just felt like this was a very conservative game. I felt like he didn't ask Mac Jones to look. I think Mac Jones threw the ball over 30 yards one time, and that was a pick. Like, he didn't go crazy in this game, and I don't think he was asked to go crazy in this game. All he was asked to do, what a lot of quarterbacks asked, just manage. Just manage. We got a good defense. We getting enough on the ground. They can't do anything offensively. And honestly, if the Patriots would have been forcing the issue, I don't think they could have did anything defensively if they really pushed the issue. I just think Bill, being the veteran savvy coach he is, he know that they're going into a bye week. He know what just happened on Sunday. He got a young quarterback. He wanted his team to get out about as healthy as he can get them out. So they took their time. I think that's what resulted in the 25-0 final score, because the Patriots didn't. I don't think they went for the gusto. They just went for enough to win the game. 21 probably was enough for them to win the game, but they ended up with 25. And as you can see, the Falcons just. And look, this is what people got to understand. The Falcons had opportunities. They was inside the red zone at least 3 different occasions throughout this game, and they came back with the zippity zippo. So it wasn't like the Falcons couldn't put points up. They just didn't put points up. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Listen, it's funny. We was talking about this, and you was saying, hey, the Patriots, the wide receiver core can be worse. And I was like, yes, they could be the Falcons. Because them poor guys out there, Kyle Pitts is the only dude that people really know. I know Russell Gage played at LSU, so LSU fans probably know who he is, but he hasn't did really much in the NFL. And the guy Zacchaeus, or however you say his name, I ain't Joe Buck. I can't roll it out like that.
I got you. Olamide Zacchaeus.
There
Plays college ball at Virginia, so I know him. Be respectful.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me put a little more respect on that. But
got a great name.
Yeah. It sounds like it should be in some type of museum. But this crew, even Kyle Pitts, man, 3 catches for 29. it's just not going to get the job done. And they was at home, and I can only imagine what them Falcon fans was looking at while they watching this on Thursday night, just saying like, "Sheesh, what are we doing?" Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith, and like, what are we doing? So I mean, long story short, man, it ain't really much to get into. Here's the deal: the Patriots came in here, they had a game plan to shorten the game and control the game, and they did. They did what they needed to do. Like you said, 4 different interceptions was made by 4 different players. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they came to play. And to be honest, the context is this: Mac Jones seemed to be as good of a rookie quarterback as you can ask for from a rookie quarterback. Atlanta is stuck in the middle of no man's land with a 4-6 record, and basically Bill Belichick put on a master class. I think Josh McDaniels, they went out there, the defensive coordinator. I just think, the Patriots did what the Patriots do. They controlled the game, they won it on their terms, and they moving on to the next week, which I think is a bye week. And the Falcons, they got to come back and try to figure it out again, but they're not good. Like, they're not a good team, and that's what we seen last night.
Yeah, it's just appeared that classic case of 2 teams who might just be headed in opposite directions. Just quick note on the Patriots bye week: they will play Tennessee next week, and then they'll be at Buffalo, and then they'll go on their bye week.
Okay.
But look, 5 straight wins. They've four of these 5 wins in blowout fashion. They beat the Jets 54-13. Then you win by 3 against the Chargers, 24-6 against Carolina, 45-7 against Cleveland, 25-0 against Atlanta. The AFC is interesting in the fact that, it's kind of muddled. Like, we're looking at Tennessee now as people think Tennessee is the best team, and this is without Derrick Henry. And I'm just sorry. I'm just refusing to believe that, like, Tennessee we're gonna see Ryan Tannehill just lead the troops into a Super Bowl. I'm not buying it. Maybe with Derrick Henry, you can get me to believe it. But I mean, all these teams are flawed in the AFC, which the point is, I mean, New England's got to be taken seriously right now in that jumbled mess. We're gonna find out about them very shortly. They'll get Tennessee, and they'll be at Buffalo. Then off the bye week, they be at Indianapolis, and then they'll get Buffalo one more time before they finish up with Jacksonville and Miami. So at the very least, this is going to be a playoff team because you got 2 games at the end of the season that they should win. But those 4 in between, that'll give us a good indication, especially against Buffalo. Those are going to be some games worth watching. I think we thought coming into this season, based off of last year, that Buffalo had they had a step on New England, had a clear advantage. And I don't know, based on what we've seen, look, Buffalo been up and down. Like, they got a great point differential, but they've also had some games where you just scratch your head and you're like, what are y'all doing? I mean, the Jacksonville game comes to mind. Then you have the week 1 loss against Pittsburgh, who I don't think we were confident in Pittsburgh in that one. But they've been a little odd this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how those 2 teams stack up in that division, which that's clearly what the division is about, New England and Buffalo. But, last night, I do agree. I think they were somewhat conservative. I think Bill Belichick just looked at the game and said, look, this is going to be one of them games where I think we're just going to let the defense take care of it. We'll just play it relatively safe. We'll rely on the run game. We'll be very methodical in what we do. Mac just protect the ball. He did, minus the 1 interception. Didn't wind up hurting them. And then you have the Falcons, a little bit in disarray. This is still a team. This is post Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley, the guy who moved up from 2 to 1. Now, he's not in the lineup, so you're left with Russell Gage. You're left with Zacchaeus and Tajay Sharp. I didn't even know he still existed, but now he's in there running around. No Cordell Patterson last night. That really hurts because now you're left with the Mike Davises of the world and Quadri Ellison, another guy that I'd probably have to Google right now. Kyle Pitts definitely their best weapon coming in last night. But I mean, you think about Bill Belichick, what's his calling card generally on defense? He's going to take away your best option. And I think I saw some comments that were quite glowing about Kyle Pitts from Bill Belichick before the game. So that was just a giveaway that, like, Kyle Pitts ain't winning this game tonight. We're going to take him out the game. They did, to the tune of 3 catches, 29 yards. And the overall point is, I mean, this New England Patriots defense is for real. It's something, it's a group of guys we got to respect. They paid a lot of money to a lot of guys in the offseason, a lot of guys on the offensive side. The biggest acquisition to me looks like Matt Judon. He's up, I think he's at 10.5 sacks right now. I really, just aesthetically, and it's not a big detail, but I really like the red sleeves that he wears every week. It makes him stand out. Like, and you think of that, like, it's almost like, hey, where's red sleeves? Okay, make sure you block that guy because he's got a lot of sacks. He might be coming to get me. It doesn't seem to be helping him though. Like he's playing great, and I think he's living up that contract. That's a guy they got from Baltimore to come over. I think Baltimore's pass rush has suffered a little bit, but definitely on the defense, who you think about in the front seven, especially on that line, they're not household names up there, but in the back end, in a modern age where the secondary is key, and you think about a team post Stephon Gilmore, still a lot of talent over there, whether with J.C. Jackson, Devin McCourty. I thought Kyle Duggar was impressive last night. Adrian, I mean, they still got a pretty deep secondary, and I really think for New England in that jumbled mess, who knows? Like, New England's the hottest team in the AFC right now. Maybe Tennessee a little bit, but I don't think Tennessee's playing this well. So that game next week against Tennessee, that's going to bear watching to see how these two teams stack up against each other. And for Atlanta, yeah, it's just they ain't much there. I mean, they was missing some key guys offensively. It definitely hurt them. They couldn't get any kind of run game going, and you get behind. You get one-dimensional. You don't even have your requisite weapons out there. And then, you end up with closing the game with 4 straight interceptions. I really think, it's almost like it may have been like better for Atlanta to just be garbage the entire way and come into this game like 2-7 last night. Because now it's this case of like, how the hell were we 4-4 at one point? Because we got our doors blown off for 2 straight weeks. And it's just like, why'd you even like get us excited about this group of guys? Like they clearly are who we thought they were. I didn't believe Atlanta was going to be any good this year. You didn't believe Atlanta was going to be good this year. Now I got to look at like how those guys in the locker room feeling. How you feeling, Arthur? Oh, which one? Both of them. Because your team looking kind of blank and you're looking a little bland. You got a little Pat Shermer feel to you, Arthur Smith. So yeah, this was a disaster, and I think it'd be hard to imagine, like, even if you get Calvin Ridley back, Cordell Patterson, you're at full strength. Like, they're just not very good. And I think Atlanta's going to continue to slide, and they'll be the worst team in that NFC South when it's all said and done.